Hi everyone, I'm Airier, and today we're going to be finishing up What the Internet Did to Undertale by Super Eyepatch Wolf. Now, last time around, I honestly got really hyped when he was describing what happened in the story and then started talking about all the really cool animations, and I asked everyone to start showing me what they had, and I was not disappointed. I have watched a whole bunch of them, and there's a whole more playlist to go through still of all the different fan animations out there, and that's not even like the entire comprehensive, complete playlist of everything put on my Discord. So I'm going to be busy watching that for a while, and it's freaking amazing. So I just want to say thank you in advance to everyone about that, and I just want to see what happens next, because this is fun. So we're going to do that. You guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up. Let's get started.
Coming right at the end of a No Mercy run, this is where the game finally
Oh, is that the in-game look of it?
Damn. The player.
Where's the animation?
Sans, having watched you repeatedly destroy the lives of everyone he loves, now faces you in one final terrible fight.
Is he the final boss?
And it is a nightmare. Sans even taking control of the timeline and forcing the player to be the victim of saves and resets. And what these animations do is capture all that violence, all that emotion, and express it in a way that was never possible in the original game. The crazy part isn't even how many of these
I haven't seen any of these ones yet,
or their sheer quality, but their insane popularity.
Minecraft style?
I want you to take a look at this animation on screen now, and I want you to try and guess how many views you think this has. Okay, hold that
7 million?
number. Did you guess as high as 4 million views?
Still a lot!
Well, if you did, you drastically underestimated, because it's actually 60 million views. And this is not an anomaly with Undertale fan animations. 22 million views, 66 million views, 95 million views. I would wager that with view count
95! I don't know many videos outside of massive banger, probably produced and maybe hired a few million views from music videos that get that. For an animation?
Counts this high, these animations,
some of these are actually really amazing
how
too.
A lot of people actually discovered Undertale, meaning at a point the Undertale fandom became self-perpetuating. Fanworks creating new fans who would in turn create new fanworks, and you could see this new level of popularity being expressed in some really insane ways.
Is that literally custom skins or mods for a wrestling game where they have Flowy, Sans, and Papyrus? I just realized I became a fan of Undertale in the exact same way he just described, because I started seeing content covering the fan works, and I saw the fan works, and now, you know, at this rate, I'm probably going to play the game. Hi.
An entire music scene built up around Undertale
Seriously?
fan remixes.
Oh, wow.
People were programming their own Undertale fan games. Kenny Omega even main evented Wrestle Kingdom 13 to Undertale entrance music. I swear to God, this is a big deal. And with the fandom itself, every tiny corner of the game was now being mined for fan content. You remember those little side characters we mentioned earlier? Each of them now had their own massive fan following. Each tiny strand of Undertale was being filtered through 1,000 different lenses, resulting in legions of fan art, fan comics, fan fiction, plushes, stage productions, live action films, cooking videos, body pillows, porn! Which, yes, I am going to talk about, because I refuse to be silenced on this platform!
My legal team has informed me this section violates terms of service and will need to be cut. I don't know. I mean, he's a skeleton, so I guess he has a... You know, there's no way I can finish the joke for the same reason he can't. Oh, wow.
Resulting in a profound sexual awakening, the likes of which I never thought I'd experience.
Is that
the point
female
here is that from
Sans?
the little
I can't tell because I can't see the
waterfall
head.
to the bench quiche, each tiny strand of Undertale.
Bench quiche? Yeah, you know, go back. So there's a small moment with her and a duck, and then you see just whatever this is. It's the internet. It's weird.
Burden waterfall to the bench quiche, each tiny strand of Undertale was being magnified 1,000-fold and given new life online. And if you want to see how minute this gets, look no further than W.D. Gaster.
Who?
If a fictional character...
Oh yeah, that guy. I think I seen a few pictures of him.
Piece of media the least, but inspiring the most fan content,
What?
Gaster would win that award. His existence is only suggested in a handful of easily missable moments throughout the game. The Royal Scientist before Alphys, your odds of actually encountering him are tiny, dependent on a randomly assigned number at the start of your game from 1 to 100. And if that number happens to be 66, a mysterious grey room appears 10% of the time.
So out of 100, there's functionally a 1% chance of it happening based on just playing the game, and it is randomly generated based on that game. Is someone going to tell me next that there's like a 1 in 10 million chance of something else happening just to make the odds even weirder, so there's the one person who gets that run? Don't actually tell me that's the thing. Please don't tell me that's actually a thing. That would make some people super obsessed to restart and play the game.
Which
that's
may
probably the point.
Contain a character sprite commonly believed to be Gaster, meaning he only appears in roughly 1 out of 1,000 playthroughs, and yet he is a massively popular character in the fandom, appearing in innumerable fan comics.
Yep, no, I'm certain now. They have art of him I saw in an animation. What the hell?
The most popular of which has 45 million views. He's barely in the fucking game. And if it's starting to make sense why I call Undertale's fandom an abyss... Oh, buddy, we're just getting started.
We're reaching Garfield levels, aren't we?
On October 17th, 2015, Tumblr user Underfella uploaded a drawing of Toriel. But rather than the
kind of weird
goat mother you encounter at the start of the game, this was a creepy distortion of that character. And something about it resonated with people. So much so that Underfella...
Garfield eyes. It's tapping into the Garfield phenomenon. Oh dear. Do I have PTSD from the Garfield video? I think I do, actually. Oh dear God.
Began to reimagine each character of Undertale in this more sinister light.
I guess they would call it Chara eyes.
Running rampant throughout
I don't know what that means yet.
With people now creating their own fan works of this fan work, creating a collective online world of thousands of people envisioning what this new, darker reality of Undertale would be like. And this was the birth of Underfell, one of the first massively popular Undertale alternate universes, or AUs. I have legit seen full-blown AAA games with lesser followings than Underfell, to the point that it's difficult for me to even convey how massive it is, so I'm going to be using a very specific example. This is what happens when I type Underfell Remix into YouTube, and just look at all the results. These are all soundtracks for a game that does not exist, except it kind of does. There are multiple...
Is he about to say there's a bunch of people who actually made the game?
Fully developed Underfell fan games, along with all the other weird shit you'd expect from...
So the game inspired fan games inspired by art of fan fiction.
Any property with a massive fan following. All this dark, edgy shit, I love it.
Yeah, it looks good. It's well done.
Is deeper than that. Undertale was at a point where every tiny part of it had been memified 1,000 times.
So they started making their own.
And so the only option left was to break these characters free from that canonical limitation. And so, like a remix of a song you love, Underfell let fans re-experience them all over again. And in doing so, making them personal, specific, and limitless. Oh, and if you're wondering why I referred to Underfell as one of the big Undertale AUs, well, Underswap came into existence when a piece of fan art from Tumblr user Popcorn Prince swapped the personalities of Sans and Papyrus.
What?
Sans, now the overenthusiastic human hunting goof, and Papyrus, the laid-back older brother who knows more than he should. Just like Undertale, the idea picked up a massive amount of momentum among the Undertale fan community, with Popcorn Prince creating similar swapped personas for each character in Undertale. Undyne became the royal scientist, Alfie's the head of the guard, you get the idea.
I don't know, but I actually kind of love that look. It's absolutely hilarious to me.
However, whereas Undertale imagines a dangerous, more violent Undertale,
This is more of the pacifist route?
is kind of the opposite, often depicted as a softer, more peaceful reality that tends to focus more on slice of lifestyle stories. And like Undertale, it is huge. A DeviantArt Underswap search yields 37,000 results. That's...
You know what? I'm just going to ask flat out. Is that a lot for DeviantArt? I have no idea. I'm assuming it's a lot because he's acting like it is. YouTube makes more sense.
Same remix test from earlier, that works for Underswap too. There is a massive community still producing content to this day, and it's just crazy to me that there could be two massively popular Undertale AU.
He's about to say there's a ton more, isn't he? I swear, this is basically the worm effect, isn't it?
Undertale began life as a DeviantArt webcomic that reimagined the world and characters of Undertale as horrific nightmare versions of themselves. Went on to gain a massive fan following with fan games, fan art, and a hugely popular creepy version of Sans with his head cracked open. Dusttale is a Korean Ask blog in which Sans, emotionally destroyed from experiencing repeated genocide runs, murders the monsters of the undergrounds to level himself up to finally take down the human and end the infinite looping genocide. It also has a massive fan following with a hugely popular version of Sans, kind of like Undertale crossed with Berserk. Outertale is an Undertale AU set in space. It also has a massively popular fan following. Oh, okay. That's the last Undertale AU.
I'm about to expect a bullshit to happen. Specifically, him saying the last is bullshit.
Fellswap is an Underfell Underswap combination alternate universe.
Oh, now they're swapping
set during the 20th century Cold War, in which the characters of Underfell swap personalities as they do in Underswap. Not to be confused with Swapfell, which is a different thing, where the characters of Underswap become fellified versions of their swapped selves, and technically this version of Fellswap is Fellswap Gold, which is a different thing from Fellswap Red or Fellswap Emerald, and
so it's not even that they just have multiple variations of their own fan works. It's they have distinct universes that they're drawing from and then recombining to... At what point is there just a sequel made of this game? Like a flat-out Undertale 2. Now you're on the surface. Because it seems like that would be a moneymaker, even if it's absolute shit.
This is the point where my mind started to break and I started to feel like there was no bottom to this community.
How do you discover any of this shit unless you have to start from the beginning to figure out...
AUs, and many with their own massively popular fan communities. I have been researching this stuff for weeks and I have no idea what the fuck Disbelief Papyrus is. How does this video have 20 million views? A lot of these universes even have different pacifist, neutral, and genocide timelines. I googled genocide Underswap Papyrus just to see if that was a thing, and not only is it, someone had done a full genocide Underswap Papyrus boss battle twice. The rate at which this stuff hits the internet and mutates is staggering. Like, take Fresh Sans, another massively popular Sans AU.
This is breaking my brain in a very new and unique way. For the Garfield video, it was just, oh, wow, I have that in my head now. This time around, it's literally just the incomprehension of how people are variating on this so quickly. Is this it? Does this count as a classic game at this point? Oh, shit, it might. But still, I mean, I know variations are a thing. I'm a big fan of fan fiction. I like seeing those kind of variations. But that's in a very small niche that is... very much about that. This is creating their own niche to create multiple breadths of types of content and creating their own games and then universes and internal consistency that people work on and then adjust on. This goes well beyond all the crazy shit you see when you get into the Worm fandom. This is going full on SCP levels of, it's just huge.
You character, but then one day someone was like, what if Fresh Sans existed in Undertale, leading to Unfresh Sans? Which in turn led to someone being like, what if Unfresh Sans was a person leading to human Unfresh Sans? This is a fan character of a fan character of a fan character of an original creation. At some point, these fan characters even got really weird and meta, like Airier Sans, who I actually think is pretty rad, who travels from alternate universe to alternate universe, wiping out different Undertale AUs. Whose counterpart is Ink Sans, who helps and encourages fan creators in making their own Undertale universes.
We know which one's winning then.
Also both massively popular fan characters with their own communities. And if you want to get really insane, what if
there's
everything we just talked about, what if
Don't say it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Existed in one massive meta universe? Underverse is a multi-hour
Underverse, of course. Also, I absolutely refuse to call it a meta universe. And if you can tell what I'm trying to avoid saying, nice. So there's actually, wait, this is an anime. Did someone actually animate all of the universes together? At what point do you need an actual written map or a flowchart to understand how any of these actually, there actually probably is a flowchart. And ironically, I fully expect there's a flowchart.
Hour-long animated web series that combines all the different Undertale AUs into one gargantuan meta storyline, featuring popular fandom characters like Core Frisk, Underswap Papyrus, Ink Sans, Airier Sans, Fresh Sans, Fell Sans, Nightmare, Dream,
Is it all Sans?
Cross Sans. That last one being the Sans of the Crossverse, the prequel series to Underverse that focuses on the story of Frisk and Kara, two brothers who have to watch their own universe repeatedly reset by Crossgaster as he tries over and over to recreate his own Undertale AU. This is an alternate universe about making alternate universes. And you want to know the absolutely fucking crazy part? It's good!
What?
The art style is beautiful, the character designs are really sharp and expressive. Look at how cute Alvi's looks in her dress, how fucking badass Undyne looks in her suit.
Damn!
Muffet's in the Royal Guard, and it's class. But I think the really genius thing about this series is that just as Undertale acknowledges it is a video game and uses that to tell its story, Crossverse acknowledges it is a piece of fan fiction and does the same. It tries to imagine what it would be like for these characters existing in AUs, trapped in universes where at any moment your timeline could be reset, Frisk and Kara being the only ones to retain memories of their previous timelines, having to repeatedly watch their family, friends and lives, all of it pulled back to zero and starting again, with the character writing strong enough to support that concept. And yeah, look, it is insane. You have to know an obscene amount about Undertale and its different AUs to just understand what's happening.
I kind of want to ask for a link, but at the same time, what he just said is kind of what I'm sticking on. I don't have enough context to even understand what I'd be watching at this point. I think I'm going to have to ask for that map, that guide map, to just figure out how I could just understand enough to get there. Because just playing the game isn't going to do it at this point. I had not realized getting into this was like getting into Warhammer 40k the first time. You don't really need to know where you're starting because it doesn't matter. You don't know enough regardless of where you start. Even if it's the beginning, everything else around it is just so generative that it's moved well beyond the original. I mean, this is insane and freaking amazing, and I really want to know more. Honestly, the entire art style he's demonstrating right now looks amazing, and I kind of want to check it out just because I like meta commentaries in general, because I find them amusing when well done, and this sounds like it's being really well done. Unlike the Garfield stuff, which is just really soul-destroying. I know, I keep referencing that because that was really fucked up. But this is like taking all those aspects and just making it weird, but good. Yes, I'm just going to say that is my general take on everything right now. Gah! Much blarg, very
But if you can get past all the weird, abstract lore and world building, it's actually really good. Oh my god. I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I have become everything I once hated.
Joke's on you. I was already a Kingdom Hearts fan. Although I will admit I could never actually bring myself to finish the third game because it just dragged so hard. 2 was fun. 1 was better. Granted, 2 had better fighting. I still think Birth by Sleep had the actual best combat system, and then I could just not... I got so bored of the third game. Oh, dear God. And I never played the other spin-offs.
Oh, well. And yet, as obtuse and inaccessible as this series is, that is a barrier that millions of people have crossed. Underverse spawning its own fan art, parodies, analysis videos, and it isn't even the most popular multi-hour-long Undertale AU animation on YouTube. That would be the shockingly well-animated battle-heavy Glitch Tale, the remake of the first episode.
There's more massive multiverse. Of course there are, because it's already a generative topic. I don't even know why I'm surprised.
Having 20 million views. After you stare at this stuff for long enough, something really weird starts to happen. You start to view the original Undertale as just one small part of everything Undertale has become online. And I have to wonder, what is that like for Toby Fox?
Oh, did he actually
interview him? I've done 2 videos on gigantic online fandom.
Yeah, I'm going to get to these. I think I'm working backwards. I've been told it gets less disturbing as I go, but at the same time, I know the Sonic one's going to be hard because I know just enough about Sonic at the long. Just anything about Sonic Online, and I wish I didn't.
But the difference is that
Except
one
Knuckles.
was a
Knuckles is
massive multi-million-dollar IP designed to disrupt the global games industry, and the other was a primetime TV show created by a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Undertale was a $5,000 Kickstarter from a guy who liked Earthbound.
You know, I actually forgot that part, considering how much generative work that's been going on here. I forgot this is literally just 5,000 initially to start this. Is there like some kind of secret maybe place to gather money for this guy to make a sequel? And it's like, hey, if we hit $10 million, I'll make another one. Because at this point, I fully expect that's like some kind of AR crazy demo glitch out there that you only find if you have to get so far in and then it still happens, because it's just that level of complexity I kind of expected at this point. Admittedly, if he just got $1 from every person who watched half of these animations, I mean, even 10% would probably be more than enough at that point.
And imagine all that attention on just you. And it was not all positive. Undertale fans were now everywhere, flooding every message board and social media feed. And they were,
I guess we're getting to the dark side now.
Heard. Just 2 months after Undertale's release, it was voted the best game of all time in a 2015 GameFAQs poll, beating out many titles that had for years defined what games were. And this was the beginning of a massive backlash from the wider gaming audience, with Undertale cringe compilations and other videos ridiculing the game and the people who loved it.
And now we get into the counter arguments, because if there's ever something you like, there's always people who don't like it. And because it's such a generative fandom, you can always find people who would generate against it. Yeah, that actually makes perfect sense. That's just the nature of people in general, let alone the internet. Why are they all just derp faces for Sans?
And not helping were the reports of bullying and harassment from within the fandom itself.
Of course there is.
YouTuber Markiplier infamously cancelling his Let's Play after just 2 episodes.
Damn, what happened?
So negative was the backlash to his No Mercy run. With other bizarre incidents, like one that took place at a Taiwanese convention in which a popular fan artist was injured after she was given a cookie with a needle baked into it.
Okay, what the fuck? Okay, one, why would you ever eat food someone you don't know gave to you? Maybe I'm just paranoid, but this is probably why. 2, I would like to restate my previous statement of what the fuck? Crazy obsessive fans do crazy obsessive things, and there's definitely mental illness involved here, but that is very much crossing the line from I enjoy this to I am going to live and breathe, and if you verify my world or deny it, I will take action. I don't just I'm not surprised, I'm just angry and depressed about this not surprising me.
You're going to find stories like this from any community that grows large enough.
Yeah.
But this was the level that this niche indie RPG had now reached.
And that probably is why there's no
And if you want an idea of how intense that might have been, both the creators of Underfell and Underswap deleted their original blogs. And just imagine what it's like when even the people making things from the thing you made are unable to withstand that massive online feedback. In the year,
I mean, at some point, you just gotta stop listening to the internet and do your own thing. Which is weird, because that's why you start doing things on the internet, because you want that kind of feedback. I mean, I just like doing this shit because it's fun, and every now and again I listen to people. But even I know I got plenty of people whose entire thing is coming onto every one of my videos to be an asshole. Also, they're literally the most dedicated people who watch my entire video for individual sections of how to just tear me apart. They're blocked, but I know they're there every time because they drive up my watch time obscenely high. It's honestly kind of better for me in this case because I don't care what they say, but a lot of people don't reach that point because, you know, I don't care about a lot of people if they're assholes. Some people listen. You don't listen to people on the internet unless you've verified at that point. And I just, it's like for all the generative work, it also is consuming itself by the counter generation.
Years that follow, Fox would become notoriously shy to interviews and public appearances.
Yeah.
Speaking about his experience in his blog post.
You almost have to be psychotic to want to do that at that point.
Popularity.
But
not only did I not expect this level of popularity, but initially I was afraid of it.
yeah.
I even tried to contact certain Let's Players to tell them not to make any content about it. Like a thunderclap to a small dog, all this attention stressed me out. I wished I had a way to quell the attention.
I mean, at this point, the only way to really safely handle this is to take up a donation, just say, hey, if you like this, do this, and be such an ass that people are turned off by you. That's the only way to kill that. And I mean, I'm basically saying to intentionally be that idiot on the asshole scale. It's not a good way, and it won't actually stop the negative attention, but it will eventually die it down. Although this one's generative enough outside of their own control that might not have worked either at that point. Ugh.
I felt a strange powerlessness. But the line that really chills me from Fox is when he gave in a 2017 interview with Edge magazine, where he stated, "My life has changed permanently and will never change back."
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I get that.
Please tell me the guy didn't quit making games, because I would be so disappointed, because he made something really unique and interesting, and I would be really sad if that's where it ended. I mean, I love all the generative stuff, but I don't want that to be the extent of it. It's like, hey, I did a flash pan and then it kind of burned me and I stopped. There's still runtime. Maybe it won't be that bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not like this is super Eyepatch Wolf video, it always has really fucked up conclusions in every single case I've seen so far. Continue. Reset.
Undertale is a teeny tiny little game that released on the 15th of September.
He's literally starting the review over.
And at the time, I was making my first YouTube video. That's
Why
right.
you should watch
This
our
whole
next
video
one.
has just been a prelude
wow.
for me to get weird and personal, and you're too far in to stop watching now.
God damn you, you got
At
me.
that time a lot lately.
Oh, he started as an anime reviewer?
I've been doing this for 5 years.
That still is.
And somehow, in that time, what to me has always been this small personal YouTube channel has grown to nearly 1 million subscribers.
Okay, I don't know what it is, but this specific one right here, why Perfect Blue is terrifying. How old is this video? This is 2 years ago. That's 5 years ago this came out. This has appeared in my timeline for years. I didn't even know that was Super Eyepatch Wolf. What the hell? Like, some of these I've seen, some I haven't. This one specifically has been there for years, and I never wanted to click on it because, honestly, as much as I know about Perfect Blue is enough to tell me I should not know more because it's fucked up. I didn't realize that was him. Wow. Just wasn't expecting that.
Which is something I find equally exciting and horrifying. I love you guys. I really do. But you also terrify me. I love this job, but it changes you. You see your own identity, your own concept of who you are, filtered through 1,000 different lenses, and it is impossible not to get lost in that. To the point that when I think back to the person who made that first video, I don't know that I am them anymore. And that's...
I mean, that makes sense, but from a more direct standpoint, every person is a ship of thesis. You are never who you were yesterday, and you will never be today who you will be tomorrow. So, yeah, experience changes you. But I guess coming to grips with that is kind of difficult.
It's scary.
Yeah,
That's what
changes.
the internet does. It takes things and changes them. I'm not trying to compare the moderate success of this channel to that of Undertale's. They're
1.58 million. Yep. I mean, by YouTube numbers, that actually might count as moderate now. Holy shit. But yeah, moderate. I mean, by comparison to Mr. Beast, sure, but...
I know this isn't relatable content. Oh no, I have too many fans on the internet. I get it. But I have to believe the emotion behind it is universal. The feeling of looking back 5 years ago and asking, wow, what happened to that person?
Shit
And
happened.
I think that's why it hits so hard when right at the end of Undertale, you walk up to that mirror and it says, despite everything, it's still you. That no matter how much you change or your world changes around you, through all the beautiful and terrifying things that will happen, there will always be some part that is undeniably, infinitely you.
Oh.
That is fucking beautiful. Undertale is a game that creates a lot of emotion, and all the internet did was give that emotion a conduit, letting it spread across countless fan art, let's plays, Twitch streams, and innumerable other pieces of fan media. And Undertale's still the same game it was 5 years ago. It's still a tiny indie RPG. It's just also one of the biggest games on the planet.
This was, what, 2 years ago? In the time since he's made this, has there been any word about a remake of this? Because that would be terrifying and also kind of cool. Because apparently the fan base is there for it still. Maybe that would actually work out. But it sounds like the guy who's doing it is very much burned away from ever touching it again, though.
The internet, social media, and fan culture have just evolved to the point that both those things can be true at the same time. A duality that even 10 years ago wouldn't have been possible. And that comes with a lot of weird stuff. but it also means people across the world get to experience things they never otherwise would have. And with Undertale, and hell, this too, I'm really glad that that happened.
The one thing I was really hoping he would comment on didn't happen. He didn't say anything about what came next. Did something happen? I think there was a follow-up game that's a spiritual successor, but I'm not sure if that's the same person making it or not, so I just don't know. But I kind of want to ask, is Delatrune, or however you say it, made by the same person? I can look it up on the internet right now, but at the same time, if the internet has taught me one thing, it's that you don't search anything because it'll just be off-brand. And I'm just not looking for that right now because, one, it's late at night. Two, there's been enough weird shit here. I don't want that in my head right now. Mostly because it's just kind of... my entire head is kind of blown from all that stuff, and I'm just like not in the headspace to do anything other than sleep. And, oh, bed sounds nice right now. I probably shouldn't do... oh, it's... there are not enough digits in that time considering there was multiple digits when I started this. I probably shouldn't have streamed and recorded this time of night. And it's a good thing my wife is visiting family because otherwise I would probably annoy her with how loud I am. Which is also probably why I didn't notice because usually she's the one reminding me it's late. I am shooting myself in the foot right now, aren't I? Dear, if you're watching this, I definitely didn't forget to do anything and I forgot to call you, didn't I? I need to use a different ending. So that is a lot. And the one thing I really wish had been covered kind of wasn't. No real mention of what came next. Did the creator go on to do anything else? Or did he just kind of burn out and stay burned? Because that's kind of what it sounded like happened. I don't know. I've heard of Delatrune. I don't know anything about it at all. I've seen a few characters, I think, from it. Mostly the one smiley face guy who's everywhere. And that's it. That's all I know about that. I don't even know if it's the same creator or not. So if anyone knows, let me know, because I would really hate to find out the guy who started what is apparently an amazing generative fan base just burn out and kind of fade away. That's depressing. I mean, it wouldn't affect me at all. I just would prefer if it wasn't that way. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. But more importantly, I just really like this, and I kind of want to know where to go next from here. I'm still going to check out all the fan animations people recommended, because apparently there's even more than I thought. When people were in my Discord talking about like, oh yeah, we're keeping it simple, and then they just listed pages of text, I thought that was like, okay, yeah, they're being sarcastic on the internet. Nice. No, they weren't. They were being very serious and very considerate. When someone is considerate on the internet, you know shit got real. So for everyone who did that, thank you. And yeah, I'll check out more of the fan animations and see what happens next with Super Eyepatch Wolf. Let me know what to check out from him next, because I don't want to do Sonic next. I don't want to do Sonic. I know what kind of fuckery we will get into with that, and I don't want to do Sonic next. And I don't want to make another mistake like doing the Dell video. Yeah, having watched that, I've started reenacting my own version of that. Despite myself. Or maybe because. Yeah. That mindfuckery aside, you guys know the deal. There's a link below to the original video. Hit it up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.